Hey guys, so I just learned that Charlie Munger passed away today, and the timing was very interesting. Now, you may notice that I'm not on camera. I'm still traveling, so I won't be back in the studio that I generally record in, which also happens to be my office. But it's probably better that I'm not on camera today for this one. I think a lot of us in the value investing community, there's a couple of names that a lot of us hold in really high regard. And I think Charlie Munger is definitely up there. Obviously, Buffett and Klarman, just to name a couple. And for a lot of our lives, especially our investing careers, we've sort of taken a lot from these individuals, and it's really helped to better our lives. And so what I wanted to do is just quickly go over exactly what the news said today. And so it looks like Munger died peacefully this morning at a California hospital, according to a statement from Berkshire Hathaway. And of course, Warren Buffett statement read that Berkshire Hathaway could not have been built to its present status without Charlie's inspiration and wisdom and participation. I think we all know that. I'm sure in the article it'll later go on and say something about how it got Berkshire Hathaway to diversify into BYD, which was an extremely successful investment for the company. But just taking a step back from any of the financial contributions or ideas for investments, I think when we think about Charlie Munger, I think one of the things that comes to mind is just being direct in your thoughts, being able to explain something or articulate in a way using as few words as possible. And I think that's one of the things that we really loved about Munger. He could explain how he thought about something in very few words. And I always admired that about him. And I think a lot of us admired that about him because, at least personally, that's not a skill that I have. I'm a little bit more long winded. But, I was having a conversation with my wife this past weekend. And she actually just straight up asked me, she said, are you going to be sad when Warren Buffett passes away? And the comment I made to her was that, Charlie's 99, Charlie Munger's 99 right now. He turns 100 in January. I think his birthday's Jan 1. And, I'll be devastated when Charlie Munger passes away. And if I was a betting man, I would say he would go before Buffett. Buffett looks a lot better. Charlie seemed to be a little bit more frail in the last couple of years. And so anytime I did see him do an interview, I would always, have those thoughts and get a little bit nervous. And so, here we are. And I guess I would say that, as a child who didn't have a lot of role models, I'd say, as a 14-year-old boy, when I first learned about Buffett and Munger, I think what they meant to me, both of them collectively, is really an escape from nihilism. And what I mean by that is, I think, a lot of you guys tune into the channel. You guys know that I achieved financial independence in my early 30s. But one of the things I don't talk about ever is that, I grew up in a really rough neighborhood. We didn't have a lot of money. And when I was in my young teenage years, I was trying to figure out, what to do. And at that point, the internet was new. And I started just searching, richest people in the world. And that's how I found out about Warren Buffett. And then, of course, I went down. I'm sure a lot of you guys did the same. And then, you go down the rabbit hole and you learn more and more about the person. And I think what really helped me the most is understanding that I could participate in capitalism and I don't actually have to stay in the situation that I'm in. I think when you grow up really poor, one of the things that you don't have is an imagination to leave your circumstances, or at least, I might just be projecting. That's how I felt. And I just didn't feel like my life was going to be any different. And of course, it went the complete opposite way. And I would say that the reason why that happened is because I, from afar had these mentors. And of course, one of them was Charlie, the other one's Buffett. And then over the years, you find other mentors. And I think one of the ways that happened is one of the things that Charlie would speak about all the time was, the importance of diversifying your knowledge base. And, just because you're very smart in one particular area, and I think everybody who watches these types of channels, I think we're all very smart when it comes to finance and commerce and economics and that sort of stuff. But how often do we try and diversify our knowledge base as we continue to live our lives? How many of us read books that have zero correlation to our areas of expertise? And I would say that I'm amongst the many who don't do that as actively as somebody like a Charlie Munger does. And so I think it's a really valuable lesson to always diversify your knowledge base. And who knows how it could help you, but learning for the sake of learning for the sake of allowing yourself to be more creative, I think that's a real positive lesson that this gentleman has brought to me. And I would say the other life lesson that I got from Charlie is similar to Buffett, is, living under your means. And, this might sound almost like redundant with value investors, but, when you grow up in a community like I grew up in, one of the things is, because we're all so poor, we all liked to show our wealth and show our success. And one of the things I, inside in me was that when I first started making money, I really wanted to buy a super expensive car, blah, 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 all that stuff. And I realized that none of that stuff is going to bring me the happiness or anything along those lines. And from that point on, I just started embracing a simple living, similar to what they teach. Obviously, I could do a lot better. But I think for the most part, my wife and I were very simple people. And I think by embracing a simple life, living in the same house, et cetera, you do end up focusing on things that are more important and not continuing to chase, different things that purchases can bring you. For example, I heard this saying once where, desire is greater than means, meaning that you can always desire more than what you have the means for. And so when you sort of break yourself from that trap, more like of a mental trap, you can achieve things like, achieving your FIRE goal early. But, I'm just sort of rambling. I normally have a script, but the whole point is that, it's tough to hear that one of your heroes and mentors from afar has passed away, but I think this is a real celebration, although I am sad, and I'll be thinking about that for the rest of the day. I am eternally grateful that Charlie Munger existed, and I'm eternally grateful that he shared his knowledge, because it really helped. And I would say that we are the legacy of Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Berkshire Hathaway in general. But we are the legacy, and we carry this torch on. And, that's the lasting impact that he leaves behind at the age of 99, which is, of course, the age he passed away at. And I think we can honor his legacy by continuing to live by the principles that they've laid out, which of course bring us a lot of beauty and joy in our worlds as well. And so, I apologize for the ramblingness of this. I really wanted to just tell you my thoughts that came straight from my heart. And I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what are some of the best things of Charlie Munger that you guys have learned or experienced or would like to share. Share it in the comments. I think we have one of the best communities here on YouTube, and I love hearing from all of you. And so I'll leave it there, guys. And I hope you guys, if you don't hear from me in the next couple of weeks, I hope you guys have a really good holiday. Stay safe and love your families. Okay, bye now.